Hi guys, this is Dr. Jim Anderson, and I'm here to talk to you about why it is with your restless legs that you have to get up and walk around. Why is it that you tend to get better when you walk around or maybe stretch a little bit and move rather than when you're just sitting in a car or when you're going to bed at night? A lot of you have to get up at night. I've heard all your stories and how that does relieve you. And I think there's a real explanation for that. So before we talk about this, I want to mention that I'm going to be talking about your venous system, your blood flow. But over to the side here is the fact that we've done a paper that backs up what we've been saying for several years now, that we are able to successfully reverse restless legs for most of you. And we have studies to back that up. At least one has been published, one's getting ready to be published. But this first one was peer-reviewed study, and the second one has even more compelling evidence, more rigorous study to prove that we are able to help you. But in those studies, we're talking more about our assessments and how we're seeing in the operating room, both by testing in the operating room and outside the operating room, that your tunnels are tight. So that I've told you, you've seen videos of me before, maybe you've read my book called A Perfect Night's Sleep. I talk a lot about compression on these nerve tunnels in your legs that can create restless legs. So I'm not going to talk about that in this video. I'm going to talk about your veins. So before I talk about your veins, because I think there might be the secret as to why you have to get up and move around at night or during the day. It tends to relieve your symptoms. So a couple basic things to understand. Blood flows from the heart down to your legs through the arterial system. The arterial system is very high pressure, and the plumbing, the artery that takes the blood down, is a stiffer structure. So understand that. But the most important part of this equation, or what I like to call the mysterious answer, do I have to get up, is the venous system. Blood gets down just fine. But it just so happens that some of these nerve tunnels that we evaluate have veins that are trying to get back up to the heart. But if the tunnels that are pressing on the nerves are also pressing on the veins, there's a lot of pressure on those veins. And understand, for blood to get back to your heart, there's two basic phenomena that are happening in your legs. Number one, in your veins you have one-way valves. What does that mean? It simply means that blood goes up and these valves close after some of the blood goes up so that the blood can't come back down. So that's a way that your body is built to fight gravitational pull of the venous blood back down. Secondly, and probably most importantly, there are multiple muscle compartments in your legs. There's many muscles in your lower leg, and they're separated by fascia, which is tight connective tissue. There's a reason you got that fascia. It serves and creates a kind of a finite space, so that if blood is trying to get back up and the muscles contract in that compartment, it's going to squeeze, kind of milk the venous blood back up to the heart. So here's the idea, and I can't prove this with studies as of yet, but there's lots of anecdotal information to back this up. And you, by what you're telling me, backs it up. That is that when you get up and walk, what are you doing? Well, you're massaging the blood to get back up to the heart, because what's happening, blood gets down just fine, but it has a hard time getting back up because the same tunnels that are pressing on the nerves are also pressing on your veins and pretty much kind of damming up the blood flow of venous blood back up to your heart. You start to walk, and the massaging, the contraction, I should say, of the muscles overcomes that gradient, that pressure gradient, so that the blood can get back up out of that compartment back up to your heart. So very simplified, probably a lot more complicated than this, but I'm going to just stop at that point, because our patients oftentimes, and some of you are flying in from out of state and we're able to do your leg the next week, because within the first 48 hours or 76 hours, you're feeling great. So just understand that I think that this theory explains why you have to get up and move around. And after these procedures are done, for the majority of you, that problem goes away, restless legs go away. And somehow, it's kind of balancing out the inflow of blood down and the outflow of blood out of your legs. It's easier for your blood to get out of your compartments and back up to your heart. So I hope that makes some sense. Appreciate you watching. I love giving you this information and sharing my knowledge with you, and I hope it's informative for you to watch. So please subscribe, press on that subscribe button, and any comments we would appreciate. Thank you for watching.